We have had so much rain, and I thought I'd come out and show you guys the front garden after all the rain. This beautiful clematis my hubs bought me last year, and it's just got all of these beautiful flowers on it. And yesterday we redid our towers. So we took them off of their little rolly stands because they were falling apart, but I did get some spinners. So we've got some dwarf tomatoes, some chard, some strawberries, basil, peppers. Peppers are more over here. Like I said, we did get some rough rain, so some of these peppers look a little rough. But look at this. I need to try and put you in here to root if I can. I feel a little inept right now. I'll have to like stake that down to get it to stay, I think. Anyway, so yeah, lots of peppers, some eggplants, and new thyme. That's a variegated thyme. It's really pretty and it's still edible, like culinary. So this is our Primark blackberry. This is my favorite blackberry. It makes beautiful, tasty, huge berries, really strong canes. These are kind of floppy because it was from last year's planting, but like this year when they put up new ones, they're nice and thick like that. I do need to weed the garden, but it's been cold and rainy, and have been sick for the last few weeks with a respiratory infection, so I haven't been able to get out. But anyway, we've definitely got some. Look at that. We definitely have some blueberries coming in on all of them. I don't remember these. They're Tractor Supply had these years ago. I planted these are maybe 2 years old, and they are always the first. These two on the end, they're the same kind, and they're always the first to come up and put out berries every spring. So this is my almond tree. I topped it. It's looking a little better. It needs to spread out. I maybe need to cut these lower limbs down. I haven't decided yet. My anniversary rose. Didn't get much better than that. Beautiful. My blue sage is coming up. It's my favorite. And then I'll show you here in a second. But these are my Nana's irises. Got yellow. Got purple. Mauve and pink. You can still see my sages a little better. The yarrows are coming into flower. That's nice. I gotta come out here. There's so many weeds I need to pick, and like little oak seedlings everywhere. So the gummies, right, have flowered, and the bees were all over it. It was a very short flowering. You still see some flowers, right? But most of the flowers have been fertilized. We'll have a ton of gummy berries, and I kept it really tall this year, so the so the birds can have some and I can have some. And we have more blueberries, more of my Nana's irises. This is Rubus odorata. It is a thornless raspberry family that's native to, I think, Virginia. And the berries aren't that great, they're more for the birds, but the leaves have this beautiful, sweet, scented smell. And that's why I wanted to grow it, because it's got pretty pink flowers and a beautiful smell. You can see those are little perilla babies. I'll let those grow up. That perilla has self-seeded year after year since the first time I planted it. But you can see like the cranesville, the chickweed, always fight it with the sweet violets are everywhere. And then there's this Virginia creeper. I keep finding this around the front yard. Typically I don't have Virginia creeper, but this year I do. So I've got to pull those when I find them. This Texas primrose, I'll never get rid of. It's just went wild. But anyway, my beautiful favorite peach tree. I don't know if you can see, but there are just loaded with peaches. Now the wasps tend to get all our peaches before we do. But with so many this year, I'm kind of hoping, right, that we'll have some. The pear didn't put any flowers out this year, which it was a weird spring, but it's put on a lot of new growth, and I'm happy with that. There is a yam down here, and there's a passion fruit vine down here, and I just kind of let the two of them fight it out. I don't really know who's going to win, but they've got a whole arbor that they can go on. Last year I only had one type of Sweet Williams come up, but this year I've got the kind with the little pink throat. I have just the white with a very, very faint pink. And this one's cool because it kind of has like all the different colors on one. It's like they color change. It's really pretty. And so this year I planted a second Nanking cherry last year in the hopes that we would have more fruits this year on both, right? And so this year is probably the, I don't know, 4th or 5th year I've had this Nanking cherry, and I've never had a very good yield. But this year, you can see there's tons of cherries on it because this is the second year Nanking cherry I got. Planted it, I think last year or the year before. And so even this new one that's very, only been here about a year, that's even got cherries on it. So I'm really excited to have those kind of tart Nanking cherries this year. Look. Like, that's exciting. I'm so excited. Look, there's a maple tree down there. I've really got a weed. It's gotten really bad. So yeah, hopefully, I spent a lot of time weeding yesterday actually. This like vetch type leguminous weed that was really hard to get rid of. The ground was so wet, it was like standing water over the soil yesterday, so I pulled those out as best I could. So yeah, here, weeds. But blackberries, also mint, also echinacea, beautiful echinacea, columbine, wild phlox. A lot of these natives, it's another natives, I got from Stephen F. Austin. Their plant sales in the spring and the fall. I didn't go this year because I was, like I said, really sick last few weeks, so I missed it. But these are Egyptian walking onions, and this is a Stella cherry that I topped so that it would maybe hopefully spread out a little more. I also planted some mist flower right here, which will, it's like a mint, so it'll compete with all the other weeds. At this point, I'm like competitive ground covers for the win because there's just stuff everywhere and it'll compete with each other, and may the best plant win. If I want it to grow an edible, and most of these ground covers are edible, then I'll dig it as, give it some space and plant one. But these are these onions. They're actually a decorative onion that comes up. Well, not comes up, but I bought. That's like purple. The flower goes from green to purple. It's like half purple, half green, and it goes all purple. It's really beautiful. But anyway, that was just a few, like a handful of bulbs last year, and now look, they've just made huge patches. This is what I've been fighting. This is what I spent 2 hours getting rid of yesterday. This is a Carolina allspice or Carolina spice bush, whatever you want to call it. Some random garlics everywhere, daylilies everywhere. Mums come up. I need to get rid of these old sticks. The Coreopsis self-seeds every year. Look, my pawpaw is loving all this moisture. It never looks this good this early. So it's also been a really warm spring. Everything came out really early. This peach tree I normally cut down. I did not this year. I just left it big. But it has tons of fruits too. So again, here's hoping that the wasps will leave us at least a handful of fruits, right? Mulberries are looking kind of sad. They look really pathetic actually, but we're gonna have some berries on them, and I'll probably top these at about 1.5 feet above ground level in the fall next year, so it can just kind of be a better looking bush than it is right now. They look really, really sad. These are wild brambles. I gotta dig them up. Mully grass, spiderwort's edible and beautiful. Pink lemonade blueberries, all of them have nice berries on them. Not as much as last year, but that's just kind of how blueberries go. I'm not 100% confident in my abilities to prune them effectively, so I'm still kind of learning that. Aronia berry, the hydrangeas, I cut those all to the ground this year. This will look really pretty. There's so many plantains and garlics and onions and weeds that I will hopefully get out and get a hold of. But yeah, this whole front garden is literally just Texas primrose, sweet violets, and strawberries just fighting it out for like ground cover champion or whatever. This is where I was pulling a lot of that weed out yesterday. You can tell it looks really rough out here. But this is my tiger fig. It was a warm, kind of mild winter, so the tiger fig definitely made it through. You can't really see the stripes on it, but the bark tends to have like stripes going up and down. There's a couple of like side shoots that'll come out, and this is definitely a rooted cutting I made, so it's on its own rootstock, so I always worry about it dying to the ground. But I'm really hopeful that this guy will just get big and happy and healthy this year. Again, some of my favorite echinaceas. This is that Carolina spice bush. I'm gonna have to kind of dig around and get some of these up because it's starting to spread a lot, and I don't want it to spread that much. I also have goldenrod. This is like, I have goldenrod from years ago that I keep trying to pull out around here. But so that's about it on the front yard. It's a lot, but I'm very happy.